Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tamriel, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to sign up for Phantasy Star Online 2 and set everything up, including the VPN. After looking through a lot of my comments, it seems like people are still having issues with the sign up process. I reviewed it and looks like it is something that I've done on my fault of not being very detailed in the sign up process in my previous Phantasy Star Online 2 video. So in order to make up for it, I'm gonna go and be very meticulous and detailed about everything that comes to making the PSO2 account. Also, I'll feature a new method that I actually done some research on and it looks like it works, and show you guys another alternative ways of setting up the account and actually test these things out right here with you. This new method has been updated for the January 25th, 2016. I'll now leave the link in the description below in case you want to pull it up as a second tab and be able to follow along with us. I have it right here on my second monitor. If you want to just have just this video to follow along with, you're more than welcome to. I'll try to be as very detailed as possible. So the first thing you want to do is head over to Sega's official site in order to set up the account, which is pso2.jp/players/. Enter that, or I guess you don't have to include the last slash, but go ahead, enter pso2.jp/player/ or click the link in the description below to go to the official Phantasy Star Online 2 website, and it should open up the site. It should, because I don't believe that the website is actually IP blocked for anybody. If it is, I'm gonna go ahead and actually tell you how to get the VPN afterwards towards the end of the video, in case you ever have any kind of issues with connecting to the site or connecting to the game or anything like that for Phantasy Star Online 2. Now that you're on the site, what we have to do is click on the green SegaID button right over here, where it says SegaID, has a bunch of kanji symbols, has some katakana on top. This green button here on the left should be the button that you click. Now that we're here, we're at a point where we can start making the account. If you have Chrome or Firefox and you have the ability to translate, I would go ahead and do that to make sure that it's a lot easier to read everything. Now that everything is translated, it tells you to enter the contact email. So this is the right time for you to enter a proper contact email in this area. For the sake of this whole process, I'm actually going to set up a brand new email to actually show you guys what needs to happen. I already went ahead and made a brand new email account on Gmail in order to go through this process with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the new email into here to actually go through and show you guys the process of setting up this account. After you're done entering your full email here, make sure to click the green button, and it should now afterwards send you a confirmation to your email saying something along the lines of to register your account or to register your email address, go to your email inbox and click on the verification link in your inbox. Now let's come back to our email. And as you can see, I got the SegaID register. If you don't get it, check your spam, maybe wait a couple of minutes, wait 5 minutes, wait 10 minutes, it'll eventually get to your email. If it doesn't, then you enter the email incorrectly, please go back to the previous page and enter the email correctly and click the green button. The only reason why it would not send you an email is if you enter your email address incorrectly, so please be very meticulous and careful when entering your email address. After you got your email from SegaID registry, you go over here. If you want to translate, you're more than welcome to translate, but what you ideally want to do is click on this link to go to the account setup page. This is where you get to actually make the account. Now, I believe in most cases for Japanese websites, they're all timed, so you have to complete it within 30 to 40 minutes before it times you out. So this is the process where you want to start to, kind of speed up a little bit and start making the account. SegaID is going to be your official SegaID, which is a 6 half-size lowercase and half width number to 30 characters. Don't mind the Google Translate, it's pretty crap, just don't worry about it. Pretty much this is your original SegaID. You want to enter something that would represent you. Pretty much this is the account name. The password should be something that you can remember pretty easily and should be something that you're familiar with. Make sure to enter the password again to confirm the full password entry. Next is the secret question. If you're already running the automatic translate for your browser, if you're not, just use Chrome, it actually works really well, or Firefox I think works pretty well. It should translate all the questions for you. Otherwise, pick any question, it's not gonna matter. Pick any question at all, and then just enter whatever secret question you can, or whatever secret question that you will remember. If you need to write it down on your phone or notebook, piece of paper or something in order to memorize the secret question, do so, because you'll be asked that in the future whenever you need to do any kind of password changes or email changes, which you will eventually have to do, because every now and then Sega does ask you to reset your password. It is gonna happen, you might as well write it down somewhere. Now, date of birth is simply date of birth. Just enter your date of birth, especially if you're over 18. I don't think there's an age restriction for the game, but just in case, I'll enter some sort of birthday that is over 18. Now, for the email magazine, you can actually check that off. It's just going to notify you whenever there's any kind of promotional thing happening, and it's going to send you over to the email. Unless you're interested in that kind of stuff and receiving Japanese emails, then uncheck that and click the next button. Okay, now that you're done with everything and your user account creation name is lowercase, then you can go to this next page, the page 3, where you check the personal information. The personal SegaID cannot be changed at this point, but otherwise all the other features can be changed, and you can go back to change them if you really need to. And towards the bottom, it gives you the image authentication captcha, and this is the part that a lot of people are going to have a lot of problems on, and I'm going to show you exactly the best way to solve it without getting any kind of add-ons or anything, but just using a regular link that I'm going to give you in the description below if you want to be able to use that, which you probably should. This is like the only way to do it, unless you have some weird plugin that you got from the Tweaker website and were able to use this special keypad that I used last time. I would recommend going to lexilogos.com/keyboard/hiragana.htm, or click the link in the description below to go to it and open up the second tab for it. After that, I would just go ahead and put the two windows together side by side like this. Now, this is the process where you get to look at the captcha and try to put it down together through Hiragana Keyboard. You may want to look up some Hiragana letterings and some, the Hiragana alphabet in order to learn a little bit more about what type of, symbols you should be entering for the captcha. I actually got inspired to learn a little bit of Japanese and actually started getting interested in Japanese culture and language after playing Phantasy Star Online 2 and try to break the language barrier that the game has. So for me, it's not really that difficult figuring out the captcha. Right here, if I'm looking at the symbols properly, you can actually connect some of the symbols here because they're all, the same symbols. They're all Japanese Hiragana symbols. Right here, I got ku. All right. Next is, and then next one is so. This is the next symbol right here. The next symbol right here in the middle, and looks a little bit like me. The fourth one is very easy to tell. That is tsu. And last symbol right here is te, which is right here. Now what I do is highlight this, copy, and then paste right here in the captcha and click register. If you get the captcha wrong, it's going to prompt you to do it again. Simply just be very patient, look at the symbols that the captcha gives you, try to find them on this keyboard over here, and click the little symbols right here. See, I'm just clicking the symbols and it shows me the symbols and just plugging them in right here. And then you can take this, copy it over, paste it into the captcha, and get past the captcha boss. The captcha boss is going to be very meticulous, so please be patient. I know a lot of people get just frustrated and just rage quit after first try. If this game is worth it, so just be a little bit patient, try to be very careful what kind of hiragana you're putting in, and then just try it out a couple of times before you rage quit. Now that you're at the very last page, let's go ahead and click and translate here and see what we got here. SegaID registration has now been completed, so now it has been completed. Everything is solid, ladies and gentlemen. User registration of Phantasy Star Online 2 has ended successfully. We have registered for Phantasy Star Online 2 perfectly. If you download the PC version or the PS4 version of the game, please refer to the instructions for the following button. If you have the PS4 or PC version, this is mostly for the PC version, click this. Now we should be at the front page where we download the Phantasy Star Online 2 client if you want to set that up. And since the account has already been officially linked to Phantasy Star Online 2, you can technically download it from here, or if you want to get the English patch, I would go ahead and actually come back to the tweaker. Let me go ahead and pull it up here for us so we can download it together. This is the website called Arks Layers. It's a website that I featured before that showed you how to set up for the account and everything. From here, the only thing I would like to download is the tweaker. The tweaker acts as its own client for Phantasy Star Online 2 and gives it ease of access for patching to the English patch or the Russian patch if you're watching in Russian. Yes, there is also oddly a Russian patch patch if you're interested. But this is mostly for the English patch because I know not all of us can speak Japanese, and just a lot easier to get the English patch in order to understand majority of what is going on and to enjoy the game with a language that we sort of understand better. So from here, all you gotta do is click the link to download the PSO2 tweaker. So after you click the link to download the PSO2 tweaker, you select where you want to download it to, whatever hard drive. If you have multiple hard drives or whatever, you click save, and after that you run it. After you run the software, it's gonna ask you to create a folder or prompt you to create a folder where it's gonna save certain game patch needed materials and data onto. So you just create that, go through the easy process of setting the thing up, and just take your time with the tweaker. The tweaker is going to go through a lot of updates in order to make sure that it's up to date and the game is properly updated. Just let it run, just let it download everything, and go off and do something else. Tab out, go play other games, do whatever, leave it running in the background. Don't really worry about it, just let it be there. The game is pretty big. It's, I believe, like 44 gigs or something, around 40 gigs definitely for sure at this current moment, because it has a lot of things for it and a lot of patches that you gotta manually download through the tweaker, and I don't think Sega has gone through the process of trying to compress everything. Maybe they have, and this is the best they can do. If they ask you to download any of the new patches, just go ahead and click yes to download any of the new patches to make sure the game is properly running. If it prompts you this, just let it run through everything, let it run through its course, let it run through the process of trying to set everything up. In order to manually check that the English patches are installed, you want to go ahead and click on the circle right here, and then go to the install and update patches, click English patch. After that, it should run through and install the patch. Then if you want to just be a little bit careful with it, just actually add more detail to everything, make sure that everything is properly patched, you can go back, go to the install and update patches, install large files, which is a new method of installing the English patch, which installs extra stuff that hasn't been installed by the official English patch, and then come back again once more to the updates and patches, English story patch. Now this will actually apply patches required to make sure that everything, all the dialogues, or majority of the dialogues and majority of the information in the game, and anything that is story based or mission based, is actually properly updated. The game obviously is not going to be fully translated, but the patch covers majority of things that you're going to need. If you have any questions, you can always look online on Reddit or any other forum sites that are very helpful in regards to figuring out what you need to do in a game. I'm not even kidding you when I say that this game actually inspired me to get into new languages. I know not everybody likes to learn new languages, but as somebody who originally was born in Russia and came to the United States, learned English, then learned Spanish in high school, I realized that I just have a knack for languages. I like learning new languages, although I may not be, masterful at them immediately, I have an interest in the drive to learn them. And Japanese, although it's pretty complicated, it's actually kind of fun to learn. Now, if you are using the tweaker, you shouldn't have to worry at all when it comes to IP block, because actually the tweaker is running sort of like a proxy in order to make sure that your IP is not blocked, but I'll go through the process of setting up the VPN and everything. Now, for the VPN, you can have a lot of alternatives out there, but I personally prefer vpngate.net.en. When you go over here, you want to download the VPN Gate client, and then it should prompt you to download it right here. There are multiple options right here. You want to click Soft Ether VPN client plus the VPN Gate client plugin, which is pretty standard. It only comes with Windows, sadly, so if you're playing on Mac or Linux or whatever, then it might not work out for you. I'm pretty sure there are other alternatives out there that you can just find online. Once you get the VPN installed, you want to go ahead and click on it and open it up. If it still doesn't open up, you can go ahead and go to the tray and click Show VPN Client Manager, and it should prompt this open. From here, what you want to do is double click VPN Gate Public VPN Relay Server, and then from here you want to find servers that are from Japan. Usually you want to look for something that has higher line speed and less of a ping, like this, and then when you decide you want to connect to it, you can select UDP protocol or TCP protocol. I believe the UDP protocol works better and is able to connect a lot faster. Every VPN connection is going to be different, and see, it prompts me to even say like, hey, I now got another VPN connection. But your computer starts to think that you're actually located in Japan, to the point where your YouTube starts to actually give you different searches. For example, when I run Chrome Incognito, it now gives me all these links on the Japanese side of YouTube. Well, all these Japanese videos left and right. I mean, some of them are pretty hilarious if you actually want to watch them. The Japanese side of YouTube is actually pretty hilarious, and it's actually pretty well edited. Some of these videos are actually very entertaining. So while the game is updating, you maybe if you want to like click on a specific video and just check out what kind of stuff people could do over in Japan, you're more than welcome to. But other than that, just simply just wait for Phantasy Star Online 2 to finish, and once it's finished, you can actually start playing the game, and it will check to make sure that the account is properly linked to Phantasy Star Online 2. Now, with the VPN account, you're gonna have... Now, you may not always connect to a specific connection with the VPN. What you're gonna have to do is search for all the Japanese region VPNs out there and try them all bit by bit. Sometimes some of the TCP ones will not work, some UDP ones will not work. Just keep trying until you find a solid connection. Some of them go down every now and then, but it is what it is. And after you connect it to this, then you should have no problem connecting to the Phantasy Star Online 2 and actually get it to run and actually to launch. But like I said before, using the tweaker itself, it kind of works as a proxy of its own to make sure that you can actually play the game. If you want to set up different options for Phantasy Star Online 2, go to the little circle right here. Here, let me show you again. Go to the little circle and click PSO2 options. This is where you get to set your resolution, sound, and everything. For me, since I have a pretty decent computer, I'm going to run everything in high quality, high resolution, make sure everything is nice and good. Lobby monitor video playback setting, I guess I'll just keep that up, whatever. Window mode, I like to do virtual full screen. Maximum frame rate, I do unlimited FPS. Text size, doesn't really matter. Sound settings, for now I'm gonna go ahead and actually keep all the music on, just so you guys can hear what the music is like. Interface invisible, I'm not gonna do that. Save settings, and it says please select a supported resolution. Oh, I guess I gotta go back and select 1920 by 1080 then. Alright, let's go ahead and select that. You can play this game with a keyboard and mouse or a controller. I'm currently playing it with a controller, and I personally like how a lot of the games are playing with a controller. By the way, your antivirus software may act up on it. Mine doesn't really do much, but if yours blocks anything, you might want to go through and actually make it so that your antivirus software exempt Phantasy Star Online 2 from anything whatsoever, because I promise you this is not a virus, this is a legit game. And after it goes through the process of putting in the intro cinematics, which you can actually skip through if you want to, I'm just gonna go ahead and let them play out while I talk. You get into the intro of the game and you get to start playing it. For now, I'll skip the intro because I don't know if it has a copyright content claim on it, and I don't want to get my YouTube channel, you know, in trouble. After that, after you get into the game, push the enter key. For some reason my controller is not working for now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and exempt it, not even worry about it. Whatever it says here, agree to the terms, and then go to login SegaID. Then select ship. If you're playing on the PSO2 tweaker and you want to play with other people that speak English, I would suggest going onto ship to because you actually have a lot of English speakers on there. After that, you want to go ahead and enter the SegaID for your account. I already made a SegaID before, it's just gonna be something I'm gonna just probably delete later in the future, not even worry about it. But go ahead and log in, and it should prompt you to please wait and authenticate the SegaID and get you right into the game. Now, if you get to this window, don't panic, you're actually doing correct here. It just asks you for a player ID. It asks you for a player ID name. A player ID name is used in Phantasy Star Online 2 to identify each player. Your name will be displayed to other users. Your player ID name must be unique. You can use both 1-byte and 2-byte characters. I don't know what that means, but at this point you enter your account information, so that's what the other players are gonna see you as. I'm just gonna go with Sammy because I have no originality. I'm just gonna go with this, and at this point ask you to register it, and I'll register it, and done. After you register your account name, you can choose to either do keyboard and mouse or gamepad, which I'm going to use gamepad. And here is where you start the game. The first thing you might want to do, if you want to change the audio quality or the sound volume, you can go to the support menu, go to options, skip through all this stuff, go to sound settings, volume, and change the volume over here if you really need to. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to go ahead and actually go and click the characters create menu. This is the point where you can start making your character. If you have a friend notation system, you can enter it, but if not, do not register, don't worry about it. Watch the intro cinematic if you want to. I'm gonna go ahead and skip it. And this is the process where you get to actually make your character in Phantasy Star Online 2. If you get to this point, you're in. You're officially in. You're playing Phantasy Star Online 2, and I want to congratulate you for following the instructions to this guide thoroughly and in detail. If you need to go back to any part of the video in order to rewatch or catch up to certain things or try to redo something, feel free to do so. I try to be as detailed as I possibly could and as thorough as I possibly could for this guide, and I'm really hoping that it helps a lot of players out there to enjoy Phantasy Star Online 2, because honestly this is a pretty fantastic game and I wish it could come out to the West and Europe, but looks like it may not be able to. Nevertheless, I hope this guide actually helps you guys a lot, and I hope to see you guys in Phantasy Star Online 2. Anyway guys, my name is Tamriel. Like the video if you actually enjoyed it and if it helped you. Subscribe to see more videos from the channel, and as always, have a great day. See ya. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tamriel. Welcome to Hello, what have we got here? Hello ladies, how's it going? Breasts as a treasure of the net. I kind of want to say you could dress better.